So come to your seat, maybe sit on a block. We'll sit a little stronger in the hips if you can tolerate that. Yeah, maybe bring the left knee so it's more in a more exaggerated way under the right leg. And for this pose, it's called Gormakasana, lining the knees up as much as you can, which immediately makes it so much stronger around the joint. And then the feet, one day the feet may go out so they're in line with the knee, but you'll have to adjust back to where you can sit comfortably for a few minutes. So, and once you've got that, if you're finding that you're leaning over onto the right side more, or then just put something under that right buttock. And then you can just rest your hands on your knees. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Very absorbing seated pose because there's that very strong feeling around the hips. And that's a great tool for taking your mind out of whatever it was you were absorbed by in the outer worlds and bringing you inward. So helping you cut your ties with the outside world so that you can come inward. Take a breath. We'll take a little twist. So the right hand is going to come behind you, light fingertip pressure to the floor behind you, and then you can turn your gaze back towards the wall as much as your neck will allow. And you could use the hand on the right knee to help you turn a little more without yanking it. And make time to breathe into those lower ribs. We'll come back to center. Bring both hands back to the knee. Reintegrate. Readjust. And then we'll just twist the other way. So the other hand comes behind you, left hand, light fingertip pressure. Maybe the gaze will follow. Turn back to center, bring the hand back. We're going to unravel our legs. So if they feel a little stiff, you can give them a little rub. And then when you're ready, just recross the legs. And if you need to sort of even up by putting something under the buttocks, do that. So one day the knees may line up, and as much as possible minimizing the gap between the knees, but for now, it's a work in progress, so you'll just allow for that gap and it will close over time. And it's really, really strong around the outer hips, so just sit with that, breathe deeply into that. you could think of it as a focal point for your attention. Deep, almost like a burn sometimes. We're going to turn to the left. So as we do that, can you have a sense of a little sort of hugging in around the waist, so that as you twist, you can feel the abdominals, almost a little ringing out around the abdominals. So light fingertip pressure behind you. Turning, you can press into the knee, help you move. And maybe look back over the shoulder. One more breath here. And turn back to center. So we'll unfold our legs again, and this time you can bring your feet together. And you can sort of press a little bit into the outer edge of the feet. And see if that helps you open up more around the groin, and also at the back of the, sorry, not the back of the thigh, the sort of outer edge of the thigh. And then relax that pressure into the little toe. Maybe come forward. Maybe even bring your hands, weave them underneath the legs and hold the feet from underneath. See how that feels. If it's feeling a bit intense, then just stay with your hands on the foot. So coming up, we're going to roll all the way onto that left buttock. We're going to extend the right leg. We're going to bring both hands down, lift the back knee, tuck the toes under. So we're about to come into pigeon, but maybe just hang out here for a moment. So you're in a sort of plank position, and so you get to shimmy the left knee back and forward a bit, rock on the back foot. So you're kind of adjusting yourself before you come down into pigeon. And then come down onto your forearms. So you can stay here. This may be quite strong enough. Or if you feel like you're a little bit, not quite at the edge of your comfort zone and you could go a little stronger, you can slide the foot up the mat a tiny bit. But certainly don't do that if that's going to hurt your knee. But if it's just that there's a bit stronger feeling in the hip, then you could do that. Listen to your breath. We're going to come back onto the hands, tuck the toes under, swing back into a three-legged dog. So the foot comes behind you. Let's keep that foot quite active, so there's flexion in the foot, and engage the inner thigh. So squeezing in. And then firm the left buttock. So the left buttock is supporting you. We're going to swing back into pigeon. So let's stay on the fingertips. So that gives you a little bit more height if you're on the fingertips. They could come forward a little, and we're going to move the shoulders back and down. So not overextended in the arms, so there's space for the shoulders to move back and down. So your shoulder blades. They can move in. And then we're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to swing back into downward dog again. So we're lifting the back foot, three-legged dog. And now bring your shoulders over your wrists, and you can keep the foot lifted for a moment, for a little extra strength. Bring both feet down, and let's just roll the heels all the way to the right. Keep even weight into your hands, and then all the way to the left. Keep even weight into the hands, center, to the right. So as you turn to the right, can you stack the hips so that the top hip is above the bottom hip? Have a look at it. Have a look back at your hips. Because it's easy to sort of have that top hip more, you know, forward a little bit, but you're going to try and stack them. And then over to the other side, I'm really stacking the top hip over the bottom on that side. Back to your plank, back to downward dog. Step your left foot forward, sorry. And hold this lunge. So for going a bit deeper here, creep the back foot, the back knee away. Come onto the fingertips of your hand so that there's a bit more weight now into the leg, which hopefully will help you go a bit stronger, deeper into this. Then the legs, the gravity is more forceful because you're letting the weight of the torso drop into the leg. We're going to come up into a kneeling up, so keep the back knee down, come up, and then let's just bring the right foot behind you. So we're in a kneeling, sort of a kneeling warrior position. We're going to bring the left hand to the outside of the thigh, and we're just going to press back a little bit into that left hand, so you're activating the outer thigh. And you can lift the heel. You can relax that pressure now. Lift the heel, lower the heel, lift the toes. Just making that leg a little bit more, yeah, just getting a whole range of movements in that leg. And then relax those movements and press back into the hand so that you're activating the outer thigh. And then we're going to bring the hand to the inside of the leg. Relax the outer thigh and push gently into the hand. can come more towards the thigh or on the inside of the knee, as you wish. So let's just take our warrior arms now, really extending through the fingers, looking over the left hand. Feel it broadening across the chest. Maybe even sense of the shoulder blades moving in. And we're going to take a downward movement so that we come into a sort of side bend to the right. I'll just move forward a bit so you can see. And straighten up that left leg. Really, really, really stretch with left hand, left leg, one long line. Find the stretch in the ribs, in the side waist, into the hip. You can lift the heel, reach a little further, and then bring the heel down and try not to lose that extra inch that you gain. Really press into the little toe edge of the back foot. Keep breathing. And then come down. We're going to go all the way round towards the left foot. You could shuffle the back foot, the right foot back behind you. So we're in a pretty strong lunge here. And let your body drop down over that leg. It's fine to bend the leg and then straighten it again. Wiggle the front foot, point the toes, flex the toes. We're going to straighten up that front knee, so we're coming into a lunge, a more sort of traditional lunge. If you want to lift the back knee, you can. Lighten the weight into the fingers. So then more of your body weight's on the leg, and then, that's quite good. Deep stretch. We'll take a little twist. So we're going to lift the left arm. We're going to turn towards the left. Press down with the right hand. Push out through the back heel. We're going to bring both hands down so they are both on the big toe side of the foot. We're going to really squeeze, engage that knee. So the knee's squeezing out the outer arm, and lift the heel and lift the foot if you can. And then we're going to step back to plank very lightly and then bring the knee forward and hop it back on the arm. And in fact, we'll do that again, but this time we're sliding the foot back, slightly less intense, I hope. Sliding it forward, hop it on the arm. Once more, sliding the foot back, hop it, slide it forward, hop it on the arm. One last time, take the foot back, bring your knees down. Just come to a kneeling position for a moment. Hero pose. Back to all fours, slide your right foot away, slide your right knee forward, come once again into pigeon on this side. Maybe it feels a bit easier now. And you can go a little deeper, perhaps, by lifting up onto the fingertips, perhaps exploring taking the back foot up, or stay low if you feel like, that's pretty nice, pretty good too. if you want to go for the foot, you can reach for the foot and maybe draw that in. And then we're going to roll all the way onto the left buttock. We're going to bend the right leg and we're going to just really, very firmly but gently pull the foot in. You can lean into your left hand, turn your chest towards the ceiling. If this is very comfortable and easy for you, then move the back knee, the right knee back. And then releasing, in a moment, releasing that foot. We'll just bring both feet together and you can either sit upright or if you want to feel like you enjoy a little forward fold. Hopefully we're back where we started. That's the intention. And if you press a little into the little toe edge, see what that does. See if that you get a sense of activating the outer thigh a bit as you do that. Or certainly the more space at the back of the sacrum area. Weave your hands under and maybe grab the feet that way. So the feet come up, holding the little toe edge. And you can use that grip to draw you down, pull you down gently. Coming up, we're going to roll all the way onto the right leg. We're going to take the left leg away. We're going to press the hands down. We're going to tuck the toes under of the right leg. So we're going to sort of move ourselves into pigeon. You can sort of adjust a little bit, like move, rock forward and backwards and find a way of coming in that feels like it's going to be the optimum version of this for your body. And then rest down. If you're, this might be at the edge of your comfort, but if you are actually, you know, perhaps you could take a bit stronger, something that's a little stronger, you could shuffle that front foot forward. But equally, if it was too much, you could roll the foot back towards your hips. So we're going to come into a three-legged dog when you're ready. So just spread the hands, come down onto the hands so the weight is transferred into the hands. Tuck the toes under, swing the leg up and away. So there's still some strength in the back leg, so you can kind of engage the inner thigh, press out through the heel. And then when you're ready, find your pigeon again. And perhaps this version of pigeon you'll enjoy coming onto the fingertips. So you're lifting up a little bit, you could do that. So we notice what's going on with your shoulders. So first, we don't want the shoulders rolling in. We want to kind of move them back behind us. And then we want to move them down from the ears. That's actually quite a lot of action, quite a lot of movement. So you don't want to be overextended in your arms. You could do this with the arms poker straight, but if you keep a little bend in the arms, it's a bit, you've got more range of movement, just a little more freedom for that movement down and back with the shoulders. So you're opening up the front of the chest. And when you're ready, tuck the toes on the foot, back under, and step back to downward dog. It's a three-legged dog, in fact, so we're lifting the back foot, the right foot, and then shifting the weight of the shoulders over the wrists. You can come into plank, maybe keep that foot lifted for a moment, just work a little harder, and bring both feet down. We'll do that little movement where we take the heels to the left, toes to the right. Can you stack your hips? And then the other way. Back to center. So we'll just do something a little different. We're going to keep our weight in the right hand and come onto the fingertips of the left hand. And then swap. Weight into the left hand, fingertips of the right hand. And swap. And then we're going to lift the right foot once again. And step it forward. So we're coming into lunge. So just pause here. Lift the back knee if you want, or perhaps just work out through the heel of the back foot, press out. And the other thing is just being on the fingertips of the hand instead of the, so then it's much lighter and there's more weight. Torso is more pressed down onto the leg, and that will help you go deeper. Keep breathing. It's alternating between being soft, really soft, so that the tissues can open, and then a little bit of engagement, and that's another way of opening things. So we'll look at that in a sec. So we're coming up onto the knee, and so we're taking a kneeling position. We're going to swivel the left foot back behind you. So we're in a sort of kneeling warrior. Pad up under the knee if you want to. Sometimes I've got these spongy blocks that are quite good if you're feeling like your knee doesn't enjoy that weight. Knee of the right leg above that ankle. So we're going to just bring the hand out to thigh lightly. And then engage the outer thigh and press back into the hand. And the hand can push in, not excessive, but just so that you feel that part of the leg is awake. So hopefully when we pressed into the little toes, something of that part of the thigh was working. And also some opening here at the back, sacrum, lower back area. And then relax. So you do. Bring the hand to the inside. And again, we're just slightly pressing and releasing. So you don't want to hold it constantly in a grip, but just and then you can just rest the hand on the knee. We're lifting the heel. Lower the heel, lift the toes, and then alternate between these different movements. So be a little bit innovative or free in the movement. So the small focus movements are really good, but equally it's quite good to have kind of quite fluid movements. Obviously this isn't so much of a fluid shape that we're making, but still you can get quite a range of different things going on. So we're going to straighten up that leg now. Oh, actually, let's take our warrior arms so we get to really open the chest. So pressing the fingertips away as though they are going to touch the walls either side. Feel a broadening, a space opening across the chest. So literally the collarbone, hopefully extending. You can look over the right fingertips. Keep reaching. Armpits open. And then we're going to take a little side bend. So you can straighten up the right leg, hand can come down. Fingertips or palm down, and we're lifting with the right arm. Find the strength in the left arm to push away from the floor so you're not collapsing. You can lift the heel of the right leg. There's lots of things going on. Lift the heel, reach it, find the length, extra length, bring the heel down. Don't lose that length. Keep reaching, keep opening. Press back into little toe. Breathe into the lower ribs. And then come down, hands down, moving all the way back. So we're in a lunge, straight leg lunge. And of course, just bend the knee as much as you need to for that to be therapeutic for your body. Wiggle the toes of the front foot. And you can also press back into the toes of the back foot. So flexing the foot, moving the toes towards you and away from you. And letting your body sort of relax down. Keep breathing. Softening where you can. Not forcing it. So one way to, if you are forcing it, which happens, just to bend the knee a bit, soften everything, soften around the joints. We're going to come forward. So we're in that nice deep lunge again. If you want to creep the back foot away, do that. And lighten the weight into the hands. So then there's more of your weight resting into the leg, and then that is more gravity. You're dropping into the yeah, sort of surrendering to the embrace of gravity. We're going to take a twist in a moment. So it's the right arm lifting. Keep your hips even so that it's not, it's a thoracic spine movement, upper back movement. Press down through the left hand, lift with the right. Keep reaching. And then down, both hands on the big toe side of the foot and coming low if you wish. And that could be coming onto the forearms or one forearm. So we're going to re-engage that inner thigh. So press the inner thigh into the right arm. And for this, you could bring the back knee in. Or it's absolutely good and fine to have the knee lifted as you wish. We're going to see if we can lift that foot. I'll just turn around so you can see what that looks like. So the foot lifts, or maybe just the heel. And the way that happens is by squeezing in. So really engaging the inside thigh, hugging the knee to the arm. And then we're going to see if we can slide that foot. It can come down, slide back into plank. And then slide forward, hop it onto the knee. And back into plank. Sliding it forward, hopping it onto the knee. Strong this. And then all the way back to plank. Slide forward, hopping it onto the knee. And then all the way back. And bring your knees down and just come to hero pose. So you're kneeling, your palms face up. It's quite passive, not really what you'd imagine action hero. So, you know, they're not really the typical Hollywood ideal of an action hero. Very quiet, humble. Come forward, take your knees back so the shoulders are over your wrists. We're lowering ourselves. So if you wanted to do that by coming into chaturanga, you could. Elbows hug in, hovering from the ground, and then come all the way down. Keep your hands by your ribs, your lower ribs. Position your elbows so they're above your wrists. Head is staying down. The head, I mean, mine's lifted because I'm looking at you, but keep your head down. And we're really going to pull those shoulders back so the elbows press in as though they're going to touch each other. Shoulders lift away from the floor and pull them back towards your heels. And even squeezing the shoulder blades in. And then you can relax that. Do that a few times. Elbows in. Shoulders back towards your heels. We'll interlace the hands behind us and we'll, same action really, slightly different position. And then
When you're ready, you could lift your head and shoulders.
But you want to feel the inner thighs, the buttocks squeezing in, a sense of those back muscles gently squeezing in before you get the lift. And then flop everything down. We'll do one more, but we'll make it a cobra. Sorry, not a cobra, a locust. So the hands are going to, this time, palms up, palms facing up. The feet together, the knees together. Like a tail, imagining a tail with the lower body. Pressing down through the feet. Squeezing the shoulders, the thighs in, buttocks in. Feel that engagement of the spinal muscles, and then you can lift the head and chest, maybe the hands too, and maybe the feet at this point. But yeah, just hold it, squeeze, keep breathing. All the way down.
Completely relax.
And bring your head onto your hands. So we'll come out by sliding our hands back towards the ribs again, elbows above the wrist again. Press into every finger, into every joint of the hand. Press down, and then we're lifting up into upward dog. And all the way back into downward dog. We're going to take our last pigeon, so lift the left foot, bring it all the way forward. Find your version of pigeon that suits you. If you want to stay high, you can. If you're happier low, stay low. So the low pigeon is actually really, perhaps more restorative. The high pigeon is interesting because you get to really feel and think about the shoulder, like we did in those other back arches where you kind of really roll the shoulders back and down. And relax and breathe here. In a moment, we will move out so that we roll more onto the left buttock. So just when you're ready to do that, you can probably want to come more onto your hands, roll onto that left buttock. And then we're going to take the back leg. So we're going to hug or hold the foot. The left hand is supporting you. Pause and breathe. And if you're not getting much sensation in the front of this thigh, then move the knee back. Pull the foot in more. Turn the chest. And then we're going to release, so let the foot come back. We can just cross the leg if you like, or if you enjoy the soles of the feet together, take that option. So just come into hero, but for this version of hero, you want your feet out to the side so that, and the toes pointing back. So if you prefer to sit on something, then do that. So that the feet point back, the toes point back. And then we're just going to walk the hands back behind us. So ideally you can put a little bit of weight into your hands. And we're going to, without lifting the bum, we're going to move the pelvis forward. And then what you'll feel is a big sensation in the thighs because you're stretching your thighs, front of the thigh. And we're just going to hold that. Maybe move the hands back a little, that movement. You could relax it as well, actually, and then hold it. So a few of these movements to release the tight muscles at the front of the thighs. So traditionally, it might not be appropriate, but you could come lower even. You could come onto the forearms. So not the right thing for everyone's knees. If that's not happening, then just walk the hands a little further away and see if that, see how that feels. Lifting the hips, and also you could actually at this point lift the bum if you felt that that was going to get some more interesting opening in the hips. And then we're coming up. We're going to come back to that cross Supta Baddha Konasana, the position where the feet are pressed together. And we're going to, from here, come into a low version of that. So the feet pressed together and lowering the torso down. Maybe holding the elbows. If you want to, if you're you are feeling very stiff on in the groin, you could move your feet away a little or move them in. Press into the little toe edge. Bring your hands to the inside thigh. That could be quite good. Or even support the legs. So a cushion or a block under the outer edge of the leg. Or even you could bring your hands there. Like have little fists with your hands and rest them under the outer leg. The reason it's good to have support on the outer leg is that, contrary to what you might think, it actually helps you open more. So when you can relax or press down into something through that outer leg, then suddenly there's a letting go that occurs on the inside leg. It's interesting how that happens. So it's not cheating to have support under the knees, basically. And very soon we're going to come into Shavasana. So just extending the right leg away and then the left, bringing your hands down so that there's even space between your torso and your arms. Palms face up. surrendering the body. Surrendering the body bit by bit. Which is also immense strength, although maybe not what we can traditionally see as strength. So just as the hero pose, that quite passive, humble pose in the yoga tradition, you know, that's a revered stance. So is Shavasana. It's very much considered to be the pose that if you have no time for yoga, that this is the pose to apply yourself to, and the pose that requires the most rigor. So we're just moving through the body, scanning the body to release any tightness, any tension. Around the jaw and the tongue, the eyes, the brow, temples, crown of the head. Letting the skin soften. Maybe there's a sense of tingling, a nice feeling of loosening around the throat, the tops of the shoulders, so that the shoulders can just naturally drop down, opening across the collarbone and the chest, the heart, and softening at the back of the heart, the armpits, upper arms, elbows, wrists, palm of the hands, thumb, forefinger, little finger, fourth and third fingers. And maybe as you release the body, there's more sense of the rhythm of the body. The undersong, that we drown out when we're overriding the body with our own wishes and wills, and relaxing the whole of the head and shoulders, arms, torso, belly, back of the waist, hips, buttocks, pelvic floor, thighs, front of the thighs, back of the thighs, inside thigh, outer thigh, knees and backs of knees, calves, shins, ankles, front of the feet, soles of the feet, big toe, second toe, third and fourth toes, little toes, nothing to do. Nothing to prove here. Resting in the rhythms of the body, the sweet song of the body. So when you are ready, you can begin to bring some small movements into the fingers or into the toes. Maybe roll your head from left to right. And then rolling onto your side and curling up for a moment on your side. So get a nice sort of sense of lengthening in the lower back as you do that. Let the knees come in. And also a chance to reconnect with your breath, with the ground. So from here, when you're ready, you can very slowly and smoothly come up to sitting. Comfortable seat. And we're just going to rest our hands on the legs, thumb, forefinger, lightly pressed together. And turn your focus now to that point between the thumb and forefinger. And shine the light of your awareness here. Unwavering focus. And we're finishing with the thumbs, hands together, but not quite pressed together. So there's a little space, a little sense of space between the hands, as though you were holding something very precious, like a baby bird or something, very precious thing. And then raise that to your third eye, pressing in lightly to your third eye. You can drop the weight of your head. Thanks very much. Are you okay, Simon?